Yo guys, what's going on? Got some more BT8 gameplay for you guys. On the right, I'm playing a really fun control-y deck. This is going to be 3 Musketeers. I'm going to start off with the Impmon plus Eismon, a pretty strong start there. Always want to see Eismon in your opening hand. And our opponent is playing Armor Rush. We're going to just see the Davis played for a cost 4, grabbing the EX1 Veemon. I'm going to promote and just swing my Eismon immediately. Of course, Fire Rocket is not going to do anything, unfortunately. It has only got the security effect of deleting a blocker. Then we're going to play the Missed Memory Boost, putting my opponent back to 3, milling 2 cards, and then drawing 1 off of the effect. I really like this card a lot. It's a new addition from a BT8. Unfortunately, you're losing a little bit of power since the restriction of Eismon, but we still do have a lot of ways to mill and set up for the Bellstar. So we're just going to see the EX1 Veemon there digivolved into the breeding, and then Lydramon evolved for 2, and then Ken Davis to guarantee the 5 memory at the start of the following turn. Our Eismon did survive from the previous turn, so let's just start swinging it again. Hopefully this time we are going to get the draw 3, discard 2 effect, pitching 2 of the option cards there, drawing another card and ditching another one off of the Demi Meramon egg. Of course, already got the Gabumon set up there, and then another Eismon. That is the perfect stack there, the Gabumon plus Eismon, drawing a total of 6 cards, cycling 6 through deck is really crazy. Then we're just going to play the Matt, grabbing back a purple card. At this point, probably want maybe like an Eismon or another Missed Memory Boost to reuse that the following turn. We're just going to take the Eismon. Our opponent will start with 5 because of the Lydramon and probably just start swinging. Now, unfortunately, 3M does have a pretty tough time against the Armor Rush matchup, just because the armors really required like you to delete them multiple times, which is a little bit difficult to deal with, and they also have a lot of safe swings into security. We're going to see the Flamedramon digivolved on top of the Veemon, unsuspend, gain in memory, and then because of the tamer there, the dual tamer Ken Davis, we do actually get another swing into the security with Flamedramon. They're already putting me down to 3 security and still chilling at 5 memory. Also got the armor texture in hand there. We could potentially see a Magnamon play here. But I think that might be a little bit of a waste of a card, especially because Magnamon already does unsuspend. I don't think his hand was too great there. We do see a Veemon there played for a cost of 3, and then just digivolved into the Magnamon, putting me to 3 as well. And then he is, I believe, 9k at this moment because we got the Lydramon 9k blocker. A little bit annoying to deal with. Magnamon, I think, is a really powerful card against a lot of decks. We're just going to swing security. Now here he was debating whether or not to let me swing. There's a possibility I don't die, but of course saving yourself a security check is always nice. So we're just going to block with the Magnamon, guarantee the kill. I'm totally fine with that. I'm going to discard a Trump Sword, Gewalt, and drawing 2 off the Gabumon, and then ditching some more cards. Also got the Promote in my hand, as well as in trash there, ditching a Nailbone. So we are getting quite appropriately set up for the Bellstar in my hand as well. I've also got the Sword Defeat to followed up possibly the following turn. Then we're just going to pitch a Vilemon since I pitched the Nailbone anyways, possibly going to get value off of that. Bringing back a blocker is always nice with the Bellstar there. So we're just going to do a little bit of card counting, pop the memory boost, gaining 2 memory, and then play the Bellstar for a cost of 5 since I've got 7 3 Musketeer Digimon / 7 cost option cards in my trash there. I can play any of them. I can add back 1 and play it from my hand for free basically. So I'm going to add back Gewalt and play the Gall, deleting both of my opponent's armors there. Now see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. The unfortunate thing is I am able to delete his armors, but of course having 2 Veemon on field is still very annoying, so I'd have to Bellstar again, which I don't think I had at the moment, but I am just going to Sword Defeat, pop the double tamer there, so preventing my opponent from gaining the extra memory, leaving him with 3 and just a couple of Veemons on the field. Now I am only at 3 security here, so it is entirely possible he could just start swinging, putting me down to 1, but I do think he's also running a little bit low on rookies. The thing about Armor Rush is you do need to draw a lot of cards to see like all the different like option cards and the armor Digimon as well as Veemon. So there is kind of a high breaking potential, at least more so than Imperial Dramon, I think. Despite being the blue deck, it does have its faults. So we'll just see the Veemon there swing into the security, hitting a Gazi, which I definitely wish I had on the field at this point. I do have a Gazimon in my hand. I believe I probably should just hard play that at some point, to be honest, locking him out of Hammer Sparks. But we do also have counters for that in the form of things like Lydramon. So we're just going to swing to security and then delete the Lydramon off the battle. So we're just going to trash that because of Armor Purge. And then our opponent is going to be left with a single Veemon. We see he's got armor texture as well as a Magnamon in hand. So it is, I think, probably the best play is just to Digivolve Magnamon, unsuspend the Veemon, and then put up a big blocker for the following turn. I don't think he can get it above 13,000. I'm not sure exactly how many armors are in his trash, but even if he did, blocking Zwart Defeat is a little bit annoying, especially, like I said, because if you get Magnamon above 13,000, you can block him, Zwart Defeat will die, and then you can trigger the effect to delete, but then it won't delete the Magnamon because it's got armor perch, so you're not getting too much value out of it. But anyways, we're just going to see the Veemon, jamming Veemon played here for a cost of 3. I'm going to swing into the suspended Veemon with the Zwart Defeat. Digivolve my Gazimon to try to get that onto the board within the next turn or two. Checking my trash here, got a Vilemon as well as a Promote and a Gazimon there, so lots of stuff to bring back off of the Nailbone, but don't think I've got a Bellstar in my hand at this point. Got a Impmon though, so I could definitely play the Impmon, discard something, and then add the Bellstar back, so that's a lot of nice recursion. You've also got stuff like Calling from Darkness that can bring stuff back or add to Digimon, to purple Digimon from your trash to your hand. So that's another really good recursion tool. Oh, it looks like it did have the Bellstar anyways. So we're just going to play that, putting my opponent 2-3. And at this point, I could definitely either Nailbone or delete the Veemon. I think I probably should have Nailbone, brought back the Gazi plus a Vilemon, but I think I am just going to like Happy Bullet Showering or Trump Sword away the Veemon, which is definitely not a bad play. But I think putting up 2 more Digimon, one of them being a blocker, and threatening lethal next turn would probably have been the smarter move, especially then because he's got 2 Digimon on field, so he'd have to swing with one anyways just to take out one security. But here he's just going to swing uninterrupted off of the Veemon there, and then drawing off of the Upamon. We are going to, fortunately for me, hit a Happy Bullet Showering, but at this point, if he had a Lobomon or something like that, he could absolutely just game me here. Fortunately for us, he does not have the Lobomon. He does, though, have a Veemon. He's going to hard to play. He's also got the Megadeth, but he does not have any green sources to be able to activate that. Luckily for me, I was able to get rid of the Dual Tamer pretty early on there. So we're just going to see the Magnamon Digivolved for there. A little bit annoying, again, like I said, the fact that it boosts itself 2,000 for each of the armors and trash there. I believe it is sitting at 13,000 currently, so it's probably bigger than Bellstar, I believe, at this point until the end of the next turn. The other annoying thing is, not pertaining to the 3 Musketeers, but side note about Magnamon, playing against that deck with like Black or Greymon, de-Digivolving the Magnamon is really annoying because you can't blow it up with Metal Greymon because the Veemon will be like a million DP. So that's another kind of annoying thing that you got to deal with. So Magnamon, just overall really solid card. Going to bring out the Gazimon and then swing with Zwart Defeat into security. Davis is going to be revealed, revealing the top 3 cards of the deck, adding the Veemon there. Now my opponent chose not to block because he would have matched the Zwart Defeat, I believe. Or at the very least, he didn't want to lose his blocker to these Zwart Defeats on deletion effects. So then we're just going to Digivolve into the Eismon there. Probably attempt to swing just to force out a block, because even if he doesn't block, that'll be fine. But instead, we're just going to Deathclaw, getting rid of the Magnamon anyways. I probably should have just started with that to guarantee myself the swing from Zwart Defeat. But anyways, we're just going to draw some cards, pitching some more option cards off of the Eismon Scatter Mode, since we get to draw 3, discarding 2 there. So discarding an Impmon, just useless card, and then drawing off the Demamiramon, and then discarding another Flyball there. Counting the number in my trash there, I have to either set up a blocker like I said, or be able to delete the Veemon outright. Now the thing is, if I do set up a blocker, which I probably didn't mention earlier, but we know he has armor texture in his hand, or at least me looking at in retrospect, we know he's an armor texture, but just playing around armor texture is nice. If we do let him, if we like set up a blocker, he could go like Lydramon, suspend the blocker, and then attack for game. Or even if he doesn't have Lydramon, he could just go like Flame Dramon, attack, bait out the block, and then armor texture and still go for game. So I do think at this point at 0 security, killing the Veemon is probably better, since we know he doesn't have Lobomon, since he would have like gamed us the previous like turn if he did have Lobomon. So we're just going to go into the third Bellstar there and delete the Veemon, setting our opponent back just another turn, and then deleting his whole board, forcing him to evolve that Veemon in the breeding area there. He's got Magnamons for days, it seems like, but is unable to answer my board at the moment. I have actually used up every single Bellstar. I've got 3 on field and 1 in the trash there. So we're just going to see the Veemon hard played for a cost of 3, and then Digivolved into the Magnamon. I think that's like the 3rd Magnamon of this game. I was checking trash just to see how many he had gone through, but there were quite a few, and again, another big blocker, another difficult card for me to deal with. So we're just going to go into our turn and Digivolve with the Impmon on top of the Demimera. But the thing about 3 Musketeers is I have so many forms of removal and so many ways to sort of answer the blockers here. Even though Magnamon is a little bit of an annoying card, what I can do is probably just do another play like the Deathclaw play I did the previous turn, or even if I don't have the Deathclaw, I can possibly bait it out with his Ward Defeat. If he chooses to crash, then of course he'll lose his block. I only need to swing 3 more times to be able to go for games, because he's got 2 security. So first of all, I'm going to swing with the Ward Defeat. He will choose to not block it, hitting another Fire Rocket, useless against this deck specifically. And what I can do here, I think I was overthinking it quite a little bit, but what I can do here, just play the Calling from Darkness for a cost of 1, deleting my Ward Defeat to be able to add back any 2 purple Digimon from my trash. Doesn't really matter what at this point, but I'm going to take the Bellstar plus some other random Digimon from my trash. But I think at this point I will be able to just go for a game, because once Ward Defeat resolves, I'll be able to delete the Magnamon there and he won't be able to block. We're going to take the Eismon plus a Bellstar, and then of course Ward Defeat will delete the blocker there. We got like a 20,000 Veemon, but of course since my opponent only has 1 security card, and even if it's something like a Hammer Spark, I can just, you know, I'm still at 2 security there. So in fact it is Hammer Spark, and I'm just going to go ahead and swing with the last Bellstar for game. So guys, that is going to be game. Hopefully you enjoyed that showcase between 3 Musketeers and Armor Rush. I'm here to tell you that Bellstar is able to do a lot this format. But anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.